was a jaw-dropping announcement from NASA. There's a new solar system, apparently. Yeah, with seven Earth-like planets. 6 of them could be home to extraterrestrial life. They're orbiting a dwarf star known as TRAPPIST-1, about roughly 39 light years away. We're joined now by somebody who knows all about this. Dan Riskin, co-host of Discovery's Daily Planet. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
There was a lot of wow happening yesterday.
Yeah, and rightly so. It's an exciting thing. So, I mean, you know, we all grew up knowing the planets of our solar system. And, you know,
then Pluto went away.
Well, Pluto's still there. It's just changed its status, but it's trying to get it back, and that's a whole other story.
Right.
But beyond our solar system, you know, we'd look out at the sky and we'd see all these other stars, and we'd say, you know, there could be planets around those. And in the last couple of decades, astronomers have been looking at those. And the way you look for planets around a star, they're very hard to see because they don't give off light, right? So here's what you do. You stare at a star for a long time, and you measure how much light it's giving out. And if the amount of light is constant, but then every once in a while it goes dip, and then comes back up, that little dip, which is only like 1%, might be a planet passing in front of it that's blocking some of the light.
Wow.
And then it would go around behind, and then it would do it again. So if the dip is periodic, then how often it happens tells you how big the orbital period is, how long it takes to go around, how far out it is, and then how much the light dips tells you how big the planet is. So using this method, astronomers have found thousands of these exoplanets. Exoplanet just means it's outside our solar system, but they've always looked at big stars like the sun because that seems like a natural place to look for an Earth-like.
It's a good start, right?
Yeah, it's a great place to start. Yeah. So this project was, you know, let's look at some weirdly small stars. Like, small stars are much more common than our big sun. So let's pick a small one that's about the size of Jupiter. Let's take a look at that, and we'll just start there. And they start, and then all of a sudden, they immediately find not 1, but 7 planets going around this thing. And so it's almost like a solar system the size of Jupiter with its moons. It's really tiny. And if you could stand on one of these planets, you would be able to see the other planets moving through the sky. They'd be as big as our moon is in our sky. And if you wanted to travel between them, it would be a rocket ship trip of a couple days, not months like it is in our solar system. So it's all smaller and cuter and neat. And I just want to go there so badly.
Yeah, I bet you're not the only one. So
Yeah.
if you were to go there, what would we find? That's the big question.
So we're not going to go there anytime soon. I did the math on this. If you were to ride on Voyager 1, which is our fastest rocket leaving our solar system, it would take you 700,000 years to get there. It's close.
But there's
it's
a possibility.
39 light year. You're not, but you're saying it could happen. Yeah, we could, with our current technology, we can't go there. But what the really exciting thing is that we can take a good look at it. So already other telescopes are looking at this thing, at this solar system to try to figure out what's the deal. I mean, the star is much dimmer than our sun. It's about 1,000th of the brightness. So there's not much light to work with. But don't worry, because NASA is launching something called the James Webb Space Telescope next year. And this is going to be like the most glorious telescope ever. It is going to make the Hubble Space Telescope look like the bumper of a car. It is just, it is just glorious. And they're going to point this thing at that solar system, and they're going to be able to see what molecules, I mean, not the molecules themselves, but the signatures of the atmospheres, if they exist, on these planets. Because the big thing is, what they know so far is how big the planets are, how dense they are, so they know they're rocky planets, not gas giants.
Is there water?
That's what they don't know. There could be, and if there were water, by their math of how close it is to the star and all that stuff, the water could be liquid. And if you have liquid water, then everybody thinks maybe life could happen there. But there's a lot of ifs. It's all lined up to look like a place that could have water, could have other gases and things like that, but they need to get a good look. But that James Webb Space Telescope is going to get that look. Now that they're going to have it out there. It's going to fly out in space.
That's next year?
That's next year it launches. It's a telescope that floats in space and can look without having all the interference of our atmosphere and stuff. Now, these are drawings that people have done. One great thing NASA's done is they've really...
This is their interpretation of what it could
It's
look like.
an artist's interpretation. But, you know, like, kids at home, start drawing because you could be as right as these interpretations. And that's, I think, what the magic of this is. Right, is that when people look back at our society 400 years from now, the Trump stuff is going to just look like a hiccup. But these discoveries that NASA's making, finding exoplanets, discovering what new parts of space look like.
And when I talked about sort of extraterrestrial life, I mean, what do you believe? Do you believe there are...
Absolutely,
there's another Dan Riskin, like, somewhere...
I don't know about that. I mean, I assume there's intelligent life out there. No, I mean, there could be, you know, things moving around with legs like us, but it could be something totally different.
Isn't that so wild to wrap your head around? This was our conversation at dinner last night. To wrap your head around that.
Yeah.
is just so out of body.
It is.
Yeah.
And you know what is exciting is that this was a star that wasn't supposed to have Earth-like planets. It was just a small star. And the fact that it had 7 means our estimate for how many potential places there are for life is off by like a factor of a few thousand. We need to increase the likelihood that there could be life in these places. And if there's life in all those places, who knows what it looks like? Maybe they've got a morning show almost as good as this one. Who knows?
Almost.
Almost.
Almost,
I mean,
yeah.
come on.
Like, there can't be another Dan Riskin. No.
Well, it couldn't be another year.
If you want more of Dan Riskin, though, co-host of Discovery's Daily Planet, weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Discovery. Dan, thanks so much. I know we're going to be talking about this a lot.